Salutations! I'm the MCMNG.
And I am Master Shenlo.
And together we are
Deep Sector. Back once again, my friends, with our guest.
Alisha. Sorry, I don't have a rap name.
If you could just pull the mic a little bit closer to you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You're just statically charged.
Yeah, you got all that electricity rolling through you.
Yeah.
You don't even realize it sometimes.
No, I realize.
I realize it. She's like, yeah, I drink water, buddy. I electrify my system.
Electrodes.
Straight up.
So, thanks for coming. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Yeah.
It's been some time.
Yes.
It really
Thanks for
has,
coming to
yeah.
our shows and such.
Yeah, she's supported us a lot, so she's just an awesome person in
I'm the
general.
number one fan.
Oh, snap.
I could say that. Yeah, she definitely had me on her Spotify list last year.
Yeah.
You're
I
like-
didn't openly like hit you up and be like, "Yo, thank you," because like I was there, last year was a lot going on, but I did express it to you in person.
Yes.
And I do really appreciate you, just supporting and checking me out and coming to our shows, and yeah, it means a lot,
Yeah, for sure.
So
That was my number 3, I think, on my Spotify Wrapped this year. So I definitely
yeah, that was.
give some listens.
He actually told me about it. He's like, "Yo, did you see Alisha's thing?" I was like, "Dang, you're right. That's insane."
Yep.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
I like your stuff. I like your guest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Glad to have you on finally. So tell us a little about yourself. Are you from Colorado?
Yes. So I was initially raised on Federal in Florida. So I was
shit.
in Denver for a lot of my
Straight
childhood.
Mexico, Denver.
Exactly. So, but my great grandparents lived on Coal Mine and Pierce, so I went to Jeffco schools because my grandparents she can't go to Denver public schools for sure.
Oh yeah,
But
it was rough back then too. And
right.
that's when schools were kind of they're a little more chill now, I think. But back then, it was a little more rugged with the kids and stuff.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
People were trying to really steer people certain types of ways and shit. It was. I remember being Denver public schools.
Yeah.
Denver public schools is a trip.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So, what schools did you go to in Jeffco?
So I went to Leawood, then Ken Carl, then Columbine. I know a lot of people that kind of switched a lot of elementary schools through their life, but I just stuck with the 3, the elementary, middle, and the high school, which was nice because I can't handle change very well. So it was nice to go through the school years with the same people my entire life. And I was lucky in that way that I got to know a lot of good people, because I know a lot of people that just hated school. But I was the one person that liked school. But I was also a really big goody two-shoes, scared of authority and everything. I'm still kind of like that, but it was way worse in school. I was like, no, we can't do that. We're gonna get in trouble. I was always the party pooper. But yeah, that was.
She's like, I'm trying to be a little different now. I'm growing up,
Got a bad side.
She's like, yeah, I've drank a little bit now.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was kind of boring my entire life. I was just kind of was that person that everybody's like, don't invite Alisha. She's gonna get us in trouble. But I don't know. It was nice because my great-grandparents took care of us a lot because my mom had to get to work and things like that. So I spent a lot of time with my great-grandparents. But my grandma's very old-fashioned, so I was definitely treated as a 50s housewife.
Oh.
It was my brother was never treated that way. I remember one day I was really, really sick, so I wanted to stay home from school. So I was I had to beg my grandma to let me stay home because I would stand up, get a headache, and I couldn't walk. So it was a big deal, and I just had to beg my grandma to stay home. She's fine. And then my twin brother was can I stay home too? And she's yeah, for sure. So it was total double standard my entire life with him. So that was kind of not always fun, but it just felt like I was living in his shadow my entire life because he was always more successful than me. He's still more successful than me. A lot of my family is oh, Daniel's doing this. He's having a kid. He has a really nice job. This and that. He went to college. And I'm cool. I'm not him. So I don't know. That was something. And then I'm definitely the black sheep of my family because almost my entire family is like total country, you know, like cowboy boots, cowboy hat, the big belt buckle, and
Why not? You don't like it?
sometimes I have a pair of boots in my closet, but
She's all on a certain day, okay?
yeah, but most of the time I'm, you know, look like this. So my family always like, they loved me the same, obviously, you know, I was still in the family, but our views were like very, very different. So it turned a lot of like family dinners into everyone against me because our beliefs were so different. So it really put me on the defense a lot of my life, because they thought it was funny to like piss me off. So they would just like have a whole debate with me where I was the only person in the room of like 7 people that like felt a different way. So I think that that's definitely translated in my adult life in being very defensive, opinionated, and hard-headed. Just fine, you know, but sometimes it's to my fault, and I'll just like argue for no reason. We were just arguing about stupid stuff earlier for no reason, but that's who I am. But I remember I wrote like a list of things that I was going to talk about because I knew I would forget them. But art and music have always been like a huge thing in my life. That's like all I ever wanted to do or be a part of. And I made music a little tiny bit at like the end of high school and like right out of high school with my friend. And then we decided that, well, I didn't decide. I just ended up like being a little bit too much for the time, and I just ended up not doing it anymore, which is sad, but...
What style was it?
Yeah, what kind of music?
At the time, it was a little bit more like indie-ish, but if I were to make it again, it would be like literally any style, you know, because I used to be...
Trying to hop on a track or what? It's like,
Sure.
Do you sing?
Sure. Huh?
Do you sing and stuff? Or? Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
so I used to be really, really big into that in high school, you know, like I was part of like 3 show choirs and things like that, going to conventions and things like that, and competing, and so obviously don't do that very much anymore, but
it's never too late. You're still young, you know.
Yeah, but I like listen to like all types of music, like every single genre and things like that. So it's just as much as it not like it is for you guys. Music is just a huge part of who I am and things like that. And anything artistic is something that I've always been into. Like, if I can't be doing something creative, I don't want to be doing anything at all, you know? Which is, like, that's always what I thought of, like, in a job position. If I'm not doing it creatively, then I don't want to do it.
That's how she does a lot of creative stuff with her Starbucks. She draws stuff on the lids for the people. So I'm like, thank you, oh, see you later. You know, like puts little happy faces and, you know, stuff like that. She decorated, like, for Halloween.
Nice.
She's always participating, you know, with the group activities that they have, you know, for the union and stuff like that. And
Nice.
I'm not a big... I haven't always been the biggest team player. I ain't gonna lie. I just never really been in too many team settings except for like basketball or some shit, you know. And then even then, I was just like kind of still to myself. I would always throw the ball to the next person and just defend. Like, yo, I'll be the defense. I know how to hustle and I know how to block the ball.
Sometimes being around people is too draining, you know, like you clearly like protect your own energy, which is awesome, you know. Sometimes I've definitely like spent too much time in like caring about other people and putting them first, and that just like totally drained my own energy for a lot of my life. Is I just put others first, and so as much as I'm a team player and I'm like great with people, it has definitely been to a fault for myself. So, you know, good on you like for being to yourself.
That is why I'm to myself, though. Yeah, it's like, it's a huge energy thing for me.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, though, because, like, it really is. It's truly energy. And, like, in the rawest form, too. Because, like, so I did, like, a fast this last week, and essentially, you know, your brain doesn't have, when you're fasting, you know, your brain doesn't have the energy it needs to be nice. You know, like, you don't want to be nice. Like, it's a waste of energy that you don't have. Like, it's real. And, like, it's so crazy that, and I looked it up and everything, too. It's just the fact, you know, your brain needs fuel, you know, and without that fuel, it can't do those extra things that you tend to do, you know? And it's it's really wild. It's because I was being a bit of an asshole this last week, but I'm not even in that mode. I'm
Tell
not,
her
like,
about the
such a rude guy.
fast, bro. Tell her about what it is, bro.
Also, I was fasting for like 4 days, Friday night to like last night, and it was quite an experience.
Nothing but water, right?
Yeah, just water.
For 4 days. Yep.
Yeah, it was
my guy right here. That's
quite the experience. But yeah, it was like, it really had me, because, I do have, in my opinion, a lot of pent-up anger, and, I do my best to control myself and such. And so, yeah, in these scenarios, it was really tempting, really hard to just, like, truly, turn the other cheek, and be nice to people, and, like, literally I had to walk away a lot and just, like, take some really deep breaths, because, yeah, I felt like exploding a lot, but it really helped me in that aspect as well, just learning how to be further controlling of myself and control my emotions and just think things through before an action,
Oh, yeah.
The longest I've ever fasted for was 3 days. And it was a water fast like that, but I didn't necessarily feel that. I didn't really feel irritable. Like I maybe because I'm just naturally irritable, but but I felt like like my emotions were a lot smoother. I felt like I can move better, more fluidly. Like literally, I felt like fucking water. Like it was crazy. Like I was like, but I would get kind of lightheaded so a lot more, and I think it had a lot to do with why I was doing it too. Because I always heard it was like an energy upgrade or some shit like that. I'm like, oh, I'm about to do this mystical experience. And fucking, bam, I'm going to upgrade my energy, my DNA. Freaking bliss out. So, to the effect, it kind of worked, and it did something different to my brain, my thinking, and my whole experience, which I'm sure it was like the same for you.
Definitely.
So, but the water fasting is really cool. I like it. I plan on doing it again soon, but right now I'm on this big workout thing. I'm trying to freaking bulk up a little bit. Or I'm trying to see if I can. I ain't gonna lie. I've been trying to bulk up for quite some time, at least like a year and a half. But this is my last straw. So if I can't bulk up within the next 2 months, any like noticeably, if I can't break 150, bro, I'm gonna quit trying. All right, I swear, I'm gonna quit trying after like 2-3 months, because that should show. Because like before, I wasn't eating. My eating habits were all off, and I was like,
it's got to cultivate some mass, Lo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have food in the fridge nowadays.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Good.
times were tough. Times were tough. Last year was a struggle. I ain't gonna front. And you still live at home, or?
So I went through a few different moving phases in my life. I lived in Littleton for the rest of my childhood pretty much, and then at 15 a very traumatic event happened, so that caused me to have to move because it was actually a really great moment in my life in turn, because my dad had to drop everything and move from up north down here to give me and my brother a safe place to live. And so we moved back over by... Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. We moved back over to the Littleton area for a while, and then after a few years, we had to move up north to Commerce City. So I was still driving down here for work. I was still
in the ghetto. That's where I'm from.
Commerce City?
Yeah, I'm from Commerce City. My whole
Nice.
family, we grew up over there.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, I lived there till I was 3, but my whole
okay.
family, they grew up there. Yeah, my family's really known out there.
That's cool.
They're not for good reasons.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie, it's not really that cool. People hate us. People be hating my family.
That's a legacy. So anyway, I decided that I was tired of driving 45 minutes to work every day. I was still working at another store, not your store. And I decided I was tired of that, so I wanted to move back down here. And my mom decided to move out of her apartment, and we got one together. So she's like my roommate.
Nice. That's sweet.
So
I want a room with my mom and my brother someday. I want to get a house. That'd be nice.
that would be really cool.
Have our own place.
I'll
That's
be
my
able
next
to
goal. House.
I'll be able to room with my mom after this life.
Hell yeah.
Bam.
Nice.
She's waiting for me. She'd be like, "Hey, son, I got your bed ready." She said, "Do you want some food?" Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll make
You ain't been
Thanksgiving
eating.
He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna
bulk up
have plentiful food for you in the afterlife."
Time to bulk.
Shut up,
I know. That's when I become my Greek self, like all big, freaking chiseled. So how long you been with Kings, or?
So I started.
My bad.
It
I'm still trying to catch up from that hit.
April of 2020.
Okay.
So it's been almost a couple years at this time.
3 years?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's coming up. You
yeah.
said April, so.
No, you're right. I just forgot about the time, but
Liza.
I'm not trying to be there my entire life. You know, I'm not trying to be
yeah,
stuck in
yeah.
a grocery store forever. So
But it's also not that bad
Preach.
of a gig. Yeah,
no, it's not for sure. I mean, I definitely
It's stable.
It's been nice, especially with the what's the word?
Pandemic?
No.
The
My position.
Oh,
Moving up.
upgrading?
the fucking
Promotion is the word I was
promotion.
looking
Yeah,
for.
I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
it's been nice. It's been a little bit more stable now that I have that promotion. I feel like I can stick with it for a little bit longer if I have to.
Yeah.
But I feel like my energy will be drained if I'm in a grocery store my entire life.
Yeah,
But for now, it's not
intense.
bad, you know. And I have a really, really great team. You know, I'm super lucky to have the people that I have back there. Otherwise, I would go crazy because as nice as I seem, I definitely have like my issues with anger, and I try not to take it out on them. But I definitely, you know, like I will get irritable, but they are really great at communicating, which makes it so much easier because there are so many teams, especially in our store, that just don't communicate with each other, and it causes a lot of unnecessary
It's
drama.
terrible. Oh my, that's what's wrong with the teams. Like they
Yes.
just have a hard time working with each other.
Exactly. There's no communication. There's no working together. But in my department, I feel like we all can work together. They feel like they can come to me if they need it, and then they can talk to each other. And I'm like, oh my god, you guys are adults. You know, you can handle yourselves.
Like,
Unlike
high
all
five.
these 40-year-olds in the other departments, they don't know how to handle themselves.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. It's been the communication, the breakdown, and of it is the problem, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
people don't know how to tell each other, like, hey, you know, you're not doing this right. Let's correct it. You know, like, and you don't have to come with emotion. You know, this shit ain't personal. Like, not everybody's, this guy isn't stalking it wrong to hurt you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just reality, you know, and that's why it blows my mind when people come at other associates or other people with so emotion, you know, like it's personal, you know, it's business. You know, we're here to do a job. We have to do certain things. So it's like, yeah, you know, listen to people, communicate with people. If more people just do that, you know, it'd be so much easier.
Yeah, I think we have a strong team too in produce. So
Sweet.
we're decent. We're half decent in our department. You know, we got a little trophy. Store 109 produce.
Really?
Yeah.
Cute.
I guess we were like the best in like the district or some shit.
That's
So
I did hear about that. Yeah. Really
Interesting.
great produce.
Fresh.
it's because our manager though, bro. I'm telling you, if we didn't have Casey, bro, like shout out to Casey. She knows.
Keeping it fresh.
She'll go crazy and just get shit done.
Yeah, she's the best manager I've ever come across in my
Yeah.
entire experience working. And that's why that's the only reason why I've been there so long. Is because of her, really. You know how great she is as a person and a manager.
She's a really great person. I've been hanging out with her a lot more, like on breaks and stuff. I've been hanging out with that crew, and she's great, you know.
She's amazing.
We were at the Christmas party. I came in, and she was like, she like freaked out, and she gave me a hug. She's like, "Oh my god, hey!" And then she was sitting down. I don't know if she had been drinking yet at this point, but she
Probably.
like turns to me and she goes, "We have a good connection, you and I." She's like, "We really are connected." I was like,
Aww.
so sweet. Yeah, so she's really sweet. I love her, and she's really great.
She's the best for sure.
Great managers make it go a lot further too. You know, that's what it's. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, if you treat your people right, they'll go. I feel respect gets you a lot more than fear. You know, right? Because somebody fears you. You know, let's think back in the day, right? Somebody feared you, they'd be willing to just kill you, right, and then take your power. You know, it's like, you know, with respect, you know, they'll walk over coals for you. You know, they'll go further for you because respect is much deeper. It's earned. You know, it blows my mind.
Yeah, that's my whole thing in my department. And we have very open conversations with everyone in my team all the time about how, like, it's just about, like I said, like, communication and stuff that goes a lot farther than if I was just, like, yelling at them or getting upset with them and things like that. You know, like, if they're late, I'll just, like, make sure they're okay first because that's first and foremost. And they said that they are, like, way more willing to come into work if they're being treated that way. You know, I don't want to cause any anxiety before they come into work. You know, I remember when I was just a part of a team, if I was late or if something was going on in my life, you know, because what's going on in your life does affect your work as much as you try not to let it. You're a person, you know, and you're working as part of who you are. And I remember if I ever had any issues in my personal life or I was late or something, my managers would just cause so much anxiety before I came into work, like yelling at me, like, where are you, this and that. And like, that didn't make me want to come into work. That didn't make me want to work harder or anything like that. But if a manager is just like there for you, then I think that I was definitely more willing to work for them. And we have an open line of communication, which causes an open line of respect. And that really helps people to work harder. I think that the manager, like the store managers we have, are probably the best I've seen personally. They have their kinks, but you know, they're definitely
decent.
Better
I ain't gonna
than
lie.
I've had before.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, there was one store manager who hated me entirely when I first started working there. She just didn't like how I'd respond, you know, because I'm not like a pushover type, and I don't just like bend over and let you kick me in the ass because I'm your worker, you know. So she would tell me certain things like, man, hold on, there was one, I forget what I told her. I think like she tried to tell me like what to do in like a really rude way, and I told her I would get to it, you know, when I can or something like that. And then she's like, no, you got to do it now. And I was like, no, you know, kind of defiant in a way. So ever since then, she tried, like, because this is when I was first starting and I was training, so she wouldn't let me do certain things. She would only hold me in this area. She cut my hours in half, and she tried to really put me down after that. I was like, dang, this lady really don't like me. Then I started hearing, and I was like, they're like, yeah, she picks and chooses, you know. She's the favorites. She likes to choose favorites and stuff, and if she don't like you, yeah, that sucks. You get the shit end of the stick. But yeah, she ended up leaving. You know, we got different management after that, and then it was cool, you know. And the managers are cool now still. So
yeah, it all comes to the top. You know, they set the tone.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the store goes. You know.
Where else have you worked?
When I was first starting, I was what's the title? Office administrator for Gutter Helmet. Which sounds a lot fancier than it is.
It does. It sounds kind of fancy. I was like, what are you doing at King's?
I was like a glorified receptionist, pretty much, for a gutter protection company. Super interesting for a 16-year-old, for sure.
Gutter protection? So, like, you talking about for the houses? Or?
Yeah, it goes on top of your gutter so that the leaves don't go into your gutter, so you don't have to clean them. So
I think I've seen some of those.
There's a few different companies that do it, but
I don't see it done too much, honestly.
No, because honestly,
how do you stay in business?
It's actually, so my mom has worked there for like, I don't know, like 16 years at this point, and she still works there, and the company is kind of going under. They think it's not going to stay in business for the rest of the year, especially because of like the pandemic and stuff. People don't really have the extra money anymore to get gutter protection because it's just, people are like, I'd rather clean my gutters than pay all this money to get protection installed. So it was fine back then. They were getting enough business, but now it's just not anymore. But that was one job. I worked at Cold Stone, and
Oh, that's tight.
Other than the management, I loved the job because, you know, like I said earlier, it was like creative and fun, and you like.
That's the ice cream, right?
Mm-hmm, and you made the ice cream with your hands. You know, I loved
really?
that. It was
wow.
because it's called Cold Stone because there's a freezing stone, and you like pick up the ice cream and you like throw it down. You put in whatever mix-ins or whatever, and then you like mush it up and mix it on the stone, which is super fun.
Huh.
And
Wow.
just like
That's
I do here,
tight.
it was super fun, like mixing flavors and things like that. And so it was super tight. I loved it. The people there were great, except for the management. Like, bless you.
Thank you. Hold on.
So like the air conditioner, bless you.
I knew another one was coming. All right, you're good.
The air conditioner was broken for a few months, and so was like the freezers. So it was like
Wow.
a place that had to be cold was like getting hot, and I was
Yeah.
like, this doesn't make sense. So I was like really upset at management, and they never did anything to fix it, and they were just terrible people. So I quit. And then I didn't do much else. Like I definitely had another job. I don't remember what it is, but like right out of high school. Because I graduated in 2020, so I went straight into King's, like during the pandemic. My twin brother actually got me the job because at the old store, 41, is where I started. He was working there and he put in a good word for me, and I got in, and I moved through like almost every department. I was a CC at first, obviously, that's where you start, and then I moved to the floral department, I went to the bakery, and I was a cake decorator in the bakery, so I loved that job. It was so much fun.
So
And
you already got bakery experience.
I do.
So you could technically work bakery too.
I could. We were talking about when the decorator retires that maybe I could take her position, but we'll see about that.
Is that Sam?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she decided not to retire yet, so.
Oh, I was wondering, yeah, because
Yeah,
I thought
she's been there for a while now.
Yeah, she was supposed to retire. I thought last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the whole thing. It was a huge conversation. Sam is retiring soon. You need to, put in your job application for the position so you can get it right away. And I was like, okay. And they were like, oh, she's actually not retiring. She decided to stick around. I was like, okay, cool. Good for her.
You're like, well, whatever.
So yeah, I was in the bakery for a while. I really loved it. And then I went up to the service desk and I was desk hopping to be a head clerk for a while. And then I was hit with an ultimatum. Basically, the store manager at that store was like, you can continue on this path and be a head clerk, or you can go to Starbucks and train to be a Starbucks lead. I was like, I've never done Starbucks in my life. And she was like, well, yeah, but you just get trained in the department, trained as a lead, and then shipped off to 109. I was like, oh, that's not scary at all. But it ultimately came down to I would be promoted faster if I went to Starbucks than if I stuck around and tried to be a head clerk, because it was taking months for people, almost a couple of years maybe, to get people promoted from desk hopping to head clerking. And I was like, I just chose the best financial path, and, it led me to a lot of great people and great environments. So, it taught me a lot, I think, about myself, what I'm willing to do, what I'm willing to change. And, of course, like I said, it brought me into a lot of really great people, and that helped a lot. So it was definitely an interesting decision in my life that changed a lot, And now I'm here.
Heck yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I started practicing witchcraft and adopting paganist beliefs when I was like 16, I think. It's kind of off and on. I'm not super consistent with it, so I'm no expert or anything. But like you were saying earlier about like herbs and things like that, I've been practicing a lot, mostly connecting with the universe in terms of those energies and things like that. As far as like crystals, I remember like the first conversation we ever had was about crystals.
Was it? I don't remember none of those conversations.
I know you know. But
because those I went off on like a couple tangents with her where it was like hour conversations and then freaking. I don't remember those ones. Those are the ones I do not remember. That's why I told him, I was like, yeah, we got to start recording this, bro. And that's what this podcast is about. So, that's how it started.
So
it's
do
based
you
off of
remember
those.
what you guys talk about?
So we could catch them, yeah. We can catch what we say.
That's smart. But yeah, at this, during the strike you're talking about, I was like trying to meet people. I was like, oh my god.
That is when we started talking.
Yeah, I was like, that was like a year ago this month. So like,
man, that's crazy.
Happy 1 year of knowing each other.
But crystals and
so crystals and stuff, I've been learning a lot and super interested in like the way that each one is connected to the energies and things like that, what properties they have. Same with really everything else. You know, everything has energy, as far as tangible things like crystals and herbs, to non-tangible things like moonlight and time and things like that, you know. There's lots of rituals that you can do, like at the beginning of the month, that bring in like prosperity and things like that. And I think that's super interesting because, you know, of course, everything in the world has energy. So it's just a way to utilize it and use it to help you connect yourself with the universe and connect yourself to yourself even, and others as well. So I think it's been a really great grounding and learning experience for me for the past few years, learning all this, and it really helped me, and this is of no disrespect to any religion, you know this, but it helped me get away from a religion that was kind of toxic for me, not necessarily the religion itself, but more the people that are a part of it. They caused a lot of stress, and just they treated me very poorly because of who I was. I came out as bisexual when I was like 16, and everyone in my church that I'd been going to for years just like completely shot on me. Like they, like on Facebook, like on Facebook of all places, they were just like talking all this shit about me, you know, like saying how I like defied God and this and that, and you know, I don't remember it much because I blocked out a lot of what they said because it was hurtful, you know. It was like the religion that I believed in and the people that I thought were my friends, and they treated me really shitty because of that. So I think that going into like spiritualism was a little bit freeing for me to get away from those people and to get more into a connection with myself and less of like following rules and things like that in like a structured religion.
Most definitely. You know, I feel people should be free to believe how they want to believe.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel that when I speak, and everyone should know this, when I speak how I feel and what I feel that I know. You know, and like, and in no way am I trying to, convert anybody to my beliefs. You know, I'm just trying to speak what I feel. So whenever I say something, you know, like, you know, it's never to convert anybody. And I would hope that's what the world would be like, you know, because, you know, everyone should be free to believe what they want to believe. You know, the world is different and varied, and all perspectives are, you know, beautiful and can see different things and with different lights and lead to different ideas. And yeah, so like it is crazy to me that religion and stuff, the power it has to have people just so single-minded to a set of beliefs. And yeah, me personally, I don't particularly, I believe in God. I don't believe in organized religion. You know, I believe what I believe. And, you know, people can believe what they want to believe, right? You know, and it should be that way.
And they're gonna, regardless
of
what you want to say, honestly. So, like...
Why try to hate anybody or hurt anybody for their beliefs, you know? Because they're gonna have them, and it is what it is.
And that's exactly it. I think that the world would be so boring if everyone believed the same thing, you know? Right. And I think that you should be able to have your own beliefs and follow your own religions, whether that's organized or not. I just believe that it shouldn't be used to control others or, like, disrespect them, you know? Like what you believe, it's not to tear down anybody else or anything like that. And there were just people that I think have ruined organized religion because they take it and they force their own beliefs onto others, even if it's not a part of the religion. You know what I mean? So they'll, like, hide behind a book and say that they're speaking through the religion, but they're actually just speaking through their own hatred in that way. And I think that even separates it from a religion, and we're not talking about religion anymore, you know, we're talking about people's own hatred that they use to push onto others under the mask that they're talking about their religion.
And real quickly, if you want to go though, I just want to say, you know, it's not to say good people have not, you know, had faith and been in religion and done good things either, you know, or good organizations have not done good things, because there have and there are. But yeah, there definitely have been instances like, you know, the Spanish Inquisition, you know, all these other things where religion was used for conquest, you know, to dominate and destroy whole other beliefs. But yeah, there has been good done through religion, most definitely.
Exactly. My thing is, it's about, I don't do the half-ass, half-stepping people. Like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it fully. So, like, people don't walk. They don't walk the walk. You know what I'm saying? They talk and they don't hold themselves to their own, their own system a lot of the time. And that's what I never really liked with certain people. It's not even the religions themselves. It's always the people. You know what I'm saying? Like the people got something to work on. I get it. I get it. We're all like figuring something out with ourselves and shit, working on shit. But I have seen a lot of, like how you said, hatred. From organized religions and in those type of environments, especially when you're just and you just have your own position. So they probably they don't see it your way, and then they'll think you're against them because how you explain it doesn't make sense, and so it seems different. And there's like a huge dissonance in religion because of that. Half the time, a lot of times they can be having the same message, but because this aspect is different, your religion is completely discredited. You know what I'm saying? Your religion is wrong. And my thing is about the character of the individual. That's what it's really about. It's about developing a good sense of character. So if you can be able to develop that good sense of character, it doesn't really matter what religion or discipline you go through. It's just about being a good person, at the end of the day. So like that's why I stopped sharing my beliefs, because I started feeling like I was a religious freak. Just, and I'm not like religious, like I grew up Christian and stuff like that, but I'm more spiritual, and I have my own set of beliefs that is aside from like really like everything, because I believe in being your own, so I forget where I was going exactly, but yeah, religion is a trip, yo.
Truly is. It's a very interesting concept.
Like, I respect religion.
Yeah,
and if you're religious, I just say be entirely. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be like you only live it in this time or that time. You got to live it all the time. Because I'm really, the word. You should live up to your word. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you speak, you're trying to, especially if you're trying to share that with other people, like this is the way. You definitely got to uphold a certain character. Like if you don't, like, how do you expect anyone to follow you or listen to you if they see some fault in your character? Like, oh, this dude does this and he's talking this. You know what I'm saying? They're never going to listen to you. So just live it fully. If you're going to live it, like hold yourself to it. That's my only thing about it. It doesn't matter what it is. Just be faithful and disciplined in what you believe in, and that's what it's about. And then the good person part, of course, But religion's pretty complicated, though.
It is,
especially when you try to bring it together from like different perspectives and shit. And it's like, oh man,
it's quite the thing, you know. Yeah, just be good people.
Mm-hmm. One thing,
love one another with respect.
Yeah, I have a thing about not talking to people too much about like religion or politics or sports.
Me too.
Yeah, they're hot topics.
Yep. I remember I was in the county. I almost got
Sports?
into a fight with some dude about the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight, because you know how they had the whole freaking thing. It was rigged, and there's a lot of like people saying, "Oh yeah, they switched the scorecards, this and that." So like, I seen the fight. I really do feel like Pacquiao should have won. Yeah, I'm definitely on the conspiracy side. I'm like, yeah, Pacquiao should have won that shit.
Oh, and he wasn't on that.
But no, he was. He's like, no, Mayweather, no. And I was like, bro, you're taking this way too serious right now. He was like getting all heated and shit. And then I was like, yeah, whatever. I knew if I kept going and like kept firmly holding my position, this dude was just gonna get all freaking like defensive and shit. I could just feel it. And I was like, whatever, bro. Yeah, whatever. Mayweather won. It doesn't even matter, bro. Like, I don't even care. Like, And I just walked away after that point. But then he kept bringing it up. He's like, yeah, I'm telling you, Mayweather won that fight. He kept doing it. I was like, man, this was annoying as fuck. I'm like, you always just got to say so. But
Oh, man. Yeah. It's quite the interesting world we live in.
Yeah, those topics are tough to bring up. So,
They need to be had.
They need to be had. I know they do.
Yeah.
They really do. But it's hard to have them.
They are.
It's so hard to have them, because we kind of become vulnerable for each other for a second.
Yeah.
And
you got to be understanding of the person, Because I kind of what I was talking about earlier, because I was having a conversation with somebody, and, it's like, yeah, when I express my beliefs, maybe I could have been a little more dialed back. But, they are a bit disrespectful sometimes, to different religions and other things. And people don't like their beliefs challenged, So.
exactly. When you tell them, like, nah, that's not it, bro. Like, this is it. They'll be like, no, what are you talking about? They feel defenseless. They've been holding this for so long, their whole life and stuff. And then you're trying to tell them reality is totally different. And it's not going to go over too well.
Yeah.
Especially people like to be free. They don't like to be told what to do. Like, I've really noticed that. So, like, when you start being pushy with your beliefs like that, people, I feel like they get defenseless because they have authority issues. So they're like, nah, what the fuck? I'm not even going to listen to this fool. He's trying to tell me what to do, like.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, shit's a trip.
Truly.
Life is a trip. What's your thing? Do you dream?
Do I dream? Yeah.
Okay.
She's
like, yeah, I'm just saying, people don't dream. There's people that don't dream.
Are there?
Yeah, there is. There's people that don't dream. They just.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, what the heck? I was like, you don't dream? How do you not dream?
But anytime I do dream, I try to decipher what it means, because that's another way that I feel like the universe connects with you and tries to show you something through your subconscious that you weren't showing yourself. Sometimes it's like a wake up call to the universe, slap you on the head with this, and they'll do it through your dreams and things like that. Yeah,
dreams are
You ever write
crazy.
them down?
I used to, but I've gotten lazy and I don't anymore.
Yeah, I can feel that.
No,
It's really interesting. I feel like they're, I don't know, a link to, something else. Yeah.
What is it? Doorways to our parallel selves from Doctor Strange?
Something like that.
Multiverse Madness, yeah. Yeah, I've had some interesting experiences. I always, my dreams are they're like life. So, I've been having, the same sequences of dreams. I have, 3 different, theme type dreams. And they've been carrying out, this story since I was, a little kid. And so it is like that. As if I'm living out, other lives. So, when I came here, I was like, yeah, I was totally somewhere else. I don't know how to get here. I'm what's going on? I'm kind of serious about that. I'll be living out totally other different lives in my freaking dreams and shit. It's a trip.
Do you believe in a multiverse, or what do you think about that?
I think I do. It's sometimes I don't like thinking about it because it's too much for most people to comprehend, or even or I'll go too deep into thinking about it. But I definitely think that there's no way that this is all there is. This universe, this earth, there's no way. And I think that there's definitely a lot of ways that the universe will connect you to those parallels, like you were saying, through dreams or things like that. And I would love to know, it's something that I'm always interested in to see if.
Do you think it would shatter your brain?
I think it could.
I think it would. I really, if you really experience something like that, it would kind of shatter your whole perspective.
So. Just make you go crazy.
Humans are not that capable, or our brains are not that advanced as we think they are.
Think about it. Comprehend it. If you literally woke up in a different universe, and then you didn't know how to get back, bro, that you'd be like fish out of water, bro. You'd be like, you really might not make it. Especially if everything was. What if you were with fish people or some shit? Like you know what I'm saying? That would be a trip. You're on this planet. It's Earth, but the people instead of human, they're fish. They're fish. All right, and you're like, they're all looking at you all weird, like big old eyes on the side of their heads, like looking at you and shit. And you're like, I'm the weird one.
Have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
It's a really good one.
that shit is a trip. Yeah, like she keeps waking up and all. She's switching through different universes, all in parallels. Like I couldn't imagine that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a wild concept. Yeah, I mean, I agree. There has to be a lot more. You know, I mean, even just what there is now, like, I mean, do you think that just where the, like, Earth is like the single one out there? You know, that's just crazy. Because, I mean, just in our universe alone, there has to be at least thousands and billions of other civilizations just, waiting, living their own lives like us.
Once we encounter them, bro, it's going to be like, have you seen Apocalypto?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be like Apocalypto.
It's going to be like Apocalypto.
You seen Apocalypto?
All right, it's about like the Aztecs and the Mayans, right? And like in those times when the tribes were all like real barely finding out things, and they freaking would cross paths with different people, and they'd be like, don't know how to respond. Like, well, there's others. You know what I'm saying? They all freaking. These dudes were scared because they just lost their village, and so they had this dead animal, and they just threw it out there because they didn't want to end up having to fight with these random people. Some the Aztecs or whoever it was came and destroyed their village. So they're like, "Who are these people? I don't know who they are. They might destroy us too. Maybe they're the Aztecs. Here, just let us pass." so they did, and just like I can imagine if we cross paths with aliens, it'd be like we might try to kill them or something. Like, we don't know how to respond. You know what I'm saying?
Americans would try to kill them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fire it up, boys. Tanks.
This is what the nukes were prepared for.
Right.
Drop it.
Sorry, Washington.
Like for your own good. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Have you ever seen a Nope?
Yes.
So what if the UFOs are sentient, or if it was just it's a different kind. It's actually a creature, That'd be wild,
bro.
It's a weird one. I thought the monkey storyline was interesting.
That was really good. Yeah, I like that. And then try to tame the beast again. Not this time.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You guys can't tame no beast, huh? That's the story.
I guess not, man. That's fucking story of Olympus. Yes. That beast over there. That's why he needs a cage.
Yeah. I've been trying to watch a lot more movies this year. I got an AMC Stubs A-list pass so that I can force myself to see more movies, because I'm always the person, have you seen this? No. So I'm like, I want to be able to see that and see the perspectives and things like that, and I think it'll be fun.
Definitely.
Yeah, it helps create conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times I don't know to talk about other than some crazy deep ass shit.
Yes.
So I'm like, yeah, you can't talk to everybody about fucking the universe and all this crazy shit, because you go up to them, they're like,
what are you on?
You smoking? What are you on? Are you high today? Or you okay, man? I know, because I be going off on tangents with just about everybody at one point if you know me long enough. You know what I'm saying? So there will be probably one point where you look at me a little different if you didn't know me like that, and then you see that side of me, you'll be like, I did not expect that.
No doubt. So, did you ever do anything after high school, like any college or anything?
No. Here's my thing about that. So basically, I didn't want to waste time, money, or energy on something that I wasn't 100% sure that I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I didn't want... It was a balance between something that would make me happy, something that would make me a lot of money, and something that I wouldn't have to spend so much money and time at school for. Mm-hmm. So I'm still trying to figure that out, and I know that could make me, behind everybody else. And I don't really care because I don't want to end up going to college and having a major that I don't use. There are too many people out there that have so much debt for something that they don't even use, or something that they do and that doesn't make them enough money, or it doesn't make them happy. And I'm like, I don't want to be like that, I want to know what I want, be 100% sure. I've thought about plenty of different things that I could do, and I've toyed with the idea of a lot, but none of them have quite fit the balance yet of what I want to do, and something that will make me enough money to live. I don't want to be broke, and it's not that I want to be rich, I just want to be comfortable, so.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I didn't see a point in staying either, because it's like, there's so much to learn outside of the classroom as well, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, it's hard to invest in something when, you're just straight out of high school, or still in high school, choose what you want to do, that you're going to think you're going to do for the rest of your life. And things change, people change. You learn a lot, see a lot. But, yeah.
There's so much pressure that is put on, like, kids, 17 and 18-year-olds to be, like, your entire life. You have to make the decision when you're 17, 18 of what you're going to do forever. I'm like, that's so much pressure. Especially, they don't have the money to pay for it themselves. They don't have the life experience to really know what they want. All they know is school, So I think that some people, school isn't for them, and other people, they just need to get out there and, like, live a little bit before they know what they want to do forever, So.
Yeah, school's a trip, man. I would like to go back at one point, but yeah, I'm the same boat. I don't really know what I would want to go back for exactly. There's a couple things I had in mind, but yeah.
Exactly.
Patience.
Yeah. Especially if you ain't got the money for it. It's expensive.
Yeah.
I don't got. It's like what? At least $20,000 a degree or some
Most
shit.
of them, yeah.
I got $20,000 just lying around. Hold
Yeah.
on, let me plant my money tree today. Maybe,
Yeah.
I'll try to grow it, get some Miracle Grow. Maybe it'll grow by March.
Yeah. My brother, he went to trade school for 9 months in Wyoming to be a diesel mechanic, and he learned a lot, and that's what he wanted to do. But now he works for Ball Corporation, just like they probably made that can. Sorry, probably made your can.
They're doing it all.
So yeah, he works in like a factory now.
Works for Ball.
Yeah.
They got like space.
Yeah,
too.
they do space too. But yeah, like he didn't use his degree, and so many people don't. I'm like, I'm not trying to be like that.
Exactly, and and that's the thing either. Like, maybe not to say like I would do that either, but it's like, it's a trend. You see a trend, and it's like, makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's important to me to know the past, know history, because history repeats itself, and if you don't know it, you will repeat it. It's good to learn from the past. Yeah. Life.
Did you have a New Year's resolution?
I try not to make structured resolutions just because I know that I'll disappoint myself with it. But I definitely want to, like you said, go to the gym more, be a little bit healthier, happier with myself and things like that. And so that's probably a bigger one. And then I want to get out and do more things. Like I said, with movies, and I also want to go to, like, more shows and things like that. I just want to have more experiences. I'm taking my little brother to see Impractical Jokers in a few months. It'll be super fun.
Nice.
Just, like, little things like that. I just want to do more of, just, like, more than, going to work, going home. I want to just get out and have fun.
Just
Live it out.
Things.
Yeah. What about
the
you?
little things, y'all.
Do you have any resolutions besides tardiness and forgetfulness?
Yeah, my two big giant enemies I'm fighting at the moment: tardiness and forgetfulness. You see, that guy fighting strong. I don't really like. Mine was just really grow, get more serious with myself and my life path. Really, that's really about it. No time for bullshit, hiccups, bumps in the road. So it's time to get going. I'm like, all right, hold on, I need to fix my sweater.
No doubt.
Sure.
I have to fix my sweater a lot. You'll see me. I'll be walking around. I'm like, man, this shit feel weird.
What about you?
I guess really just trying to save more, and just live healthier, with this whole fasting thing. And like this past couple of years I've been trying to just do more healthier, work out more and stuff. But like what I've like learned personally is like I'm trying to be more consistent with it. It doesn't have to be a lot of working out, like heavy, like full workout, just like every day when I get off work, and then let's do that. And then this fasting really was pretty awesome. And eat less sugary. I don't really drink soda as it is, but yeah, eat less sugary. That's really what I'm working on now.
That too. No, because I'll be eating like way too much sugary shit. I'll get a whole freaking box of cookies, gone one sitting, bro.
I struggle with that too.
No doubt, and it's hard. No doubt, it's definitely not easy.
I've been doing good on the cookies. Right now, it's the chips.
Yeah.
Terrible for me. I get a whole thing of chips. I forget I'm eating them. I'm just like, I'll watch a show or something, or I'll be in like my zone doing whatever, like listening to music even. All of a sudden, I'm like, damn, bro, I ate that many chips. I get the big bags too, I so I'm like, bro, I feel like that's not healthy.
Eating for the party.
Yeah, I get the party size, bro. I eat for just enough for everybody. And I'm still hungry. I'm like, damn, man, I can eat more too. What about you? Do you have a high metabolism, would you say?
I think as I get older, it may be getting a little bit lower, but for the most part, I have a pretty high metabolism. But now I'm like, now I have to think about it more. I'm like, oh shit, I can't just like let my body go. So to take care of myself a little bit more. Cause
you think you feel it more now?
I think so, a little bit.
I've noticed that, yeah. Since I've been, getting older, I've been feeling my body a lot more. That's why, when I eat the cookies and I eat all that stuff, I'm like, man, I can feel it in my body, and it makes you feel sluggish in a way.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, yeah, I don't like that. Especially, I notice it when I work out. Especially that's why I like to keep consistent workouts, because it helps you notice certain things and you feel better when your eating habits are certain types of ways. Like ever since I've been, cutting back on the sweets and everything, I've been doing that for a while, but now that I've cut back more, I could do more of my workouts. For some reason, the junk makes you feel heavy. Like, I swear, it's weird.
Yeah, I gotta get way more consistent with my workouts. I'm like trying new things that I think will be fine. I'm like shaking and shit. I'm like, I can't hold out my body weight. So I'm like, it's consistency that I have to work on to feel more comfortable. Myself feel like I'm less sluggish, and
it's a process.
Yeah.
Just don't give up,
Yeah.
As long as you don't give up, you still have consistency,
Yeah.
It's still going, what I'm saying? Even if it's not as much as it was at one point, or, it altered, up and down or whatever, you're still going, just keep with it. Just don't give up. Yeah. Don't be like, dang, I forgot to work out, nah, there goes my whole thing. I can't.
Over.
Yeah, everything's over. Like, nah, bro, keep going.
Yeah.
I've been trying to learn Spanish and Vietnamese a little bit more too.
Oh wow!
You learn it from Robert too, or what?
Who?
Robert, the little short, the Mexican dude, the old Mexican guy at the store. You don't learn from him?
No, we're not friends.
Oh, okay. It's
No.
okay.
No, I learn Vietnamese from Wen mostly.
Ah, that's tight.
Yeah, Wen is super great at teaching, and she loves it. And we have a lot of Vietnamese regulars that come in, so I'll just like greet them and have a nice conversation with them in Vietnamese. I think that it makes them feel a little bit more connected to me when I can, say hi in their language, and it's been super fun.
That sounds tight.
It's going to like a pho and being able to
Just
greet
order.
them. They're like, but it's been super fun. Like Spanish as well. I'm trying to get more into that because there are lots. Just
we're like half Spanish
exactly.
in this country now.
Like, it's not fair to them that I don't know their language and I expect them to speak mine. That's something else that pisses me off. Is like there's actually someone we work with that she came over once and she just for some reason, she felt that she could, like, say this to me and I'd, like, agree or something. But she was like, God, all these people need to go back from where they came from. Or, like, learn our language. You know, I was like, excuse me? I was like, do you know that America does not have a language? Like, there is no, like...
National language.
National language. They're like, I mean English. I was like, no. Like, that... English is our language. We learned it, and... I was, like, so mad at her that she would just say that to me out of nowhere. We weren't even friends. I was like, why the hell did you say that? So, yeah, that pisses me off because, you know, like, people that speak 2 languages are 2 times more intelligent than I am, you know? I'm like, I have to, you know, respect them for that because they not only know their language and are probably incredibly intelligent in their own language, they now know my language and are getting themselves out there comfortable enough to go to a public space where they are the only person probably that is like struggling a little bit with our language, and they just get out there. I'm like, that is so admirable, and it's so frustrating that all these people will just like disrespect them like that. And like, I feel like I should, and a lot more people should start learning Spanish, Vietnamese, whatever language it is that other people is their first language, so we can all communicate to each other. Like, English doesn't have to be the ground zero. Why would it be? It's stupid anyway. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. I just think that you should be forced to get out there and learn, and because they had to, you know? Yeah. Same with, like, I've been thinking about this a lot recently, is a lot of Asian people particularly, they have, like, their name, and then they have an American name that's, like, just easier for American people to say. And I'm like, that's so frustrating. Like, we should be forced to learn these things. You know, that's their name. You know, we're forced to pronounce English names that are, like, pronounced differently. You know, you teach them how to pronounce your name properly. I think that we should also be forced to learn foreign names. You know, like, I know someone... well, it doesn't really matter, but, you know, they have, like, their Vietnamese name and they have their English name. Like, we should just be forced to learn their Vietnamese name. It's not that hard, you know? Instead of having them change their name to make it easier for us, I think that's stupid.
It's a valid entry.
I agree, and I definitely prefer people to, like, give me their real names, you know? I like to call people by their real names, you know, as much as possible.
You ever have people, you meet people and they give you just one name, and then all of a sudden it was actually a different name?
Yeah, all the time.
Like, they'll use some people use their middle names, you know, a lot, and it's interesting, you know, like, you're like, dang, did I really even know you then? Like,
I know you feel like you're betrayed.
I know, you're like, what the fuck? Why didn't you trust me? You didn't trust me to tell me your name?
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll cut it here, but I truly appreciate you coming through again.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you again. That was for me.
Guys.
He said his, so I had to say mine.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Drink Rain. Rain, sponsor us, please.
Drink water.
Rain is gross.
Drink water. Get your H2O now before it's gone.
I'm just saying for your amino acid intake, you can get some Rain. Of course, drink water first. I always start with water.
Thank y'all for watching.
Much love.
Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends. Peace and love.
Till next time.